everyone. Today, let's delve into how Canada's 2024 budget supports Indigenous peoples. The Canadian government has made a detailed plan to fix past wrongs and create a better future for Indigenous communities across the country. First off, let's talk about a fair future for Indigenous peoples. This part of the budget shows the government's promise to work towards reconciliation. Since 2015, Canada has been working closely with First Nations, Inuit, and Métis partners. A lot of money has been put into healthcare, education, housing, and infrastructure, all based on what Indigenous communities have said are the most important needs. A big focus has been on making water systems better. Over $6.3 billion has been spent to make sure First Nations communities have safe drinking water, which has helped reduce long-term water problems. This promise is made even stronger with the First Nations Clean Water Act, which supports their right to manage their own water systems. Moving on, another important part of the 2024 budget is called Investing in a Brighter Future for Indigenous Peoples. The government knows how important it is to support and empower Indigenous youth. The budget includes money for youth organizations in communities, helping programs that focus on reconciliation, leadership, and skill building. Education is another important part of this plan. Money is being invested in kindergarten to grade 12 education for First Nations, including support for First Nations-led schools and more funding for language and culture programs. Scholarships and bursaries are also being prioritized to help students who want to continue their education. Cultural revitalization is very important too. The budget suggests funding for Indigenous languages, arts, and culture because they are key to healing and building a strong identity. The Canadian Radio, Television, and Telecommunications Commission will support the Aboriginal Peoples Television Network to make sure Indigenous stories and voices are heard. Now, let's talk about advancing Indigenous self-determination. The government is committed to building a better relationship with Indigenous communities based on respect and recognizing their rights. This includes supporting Indigenous-led solutions for economic growth, governance, and social well-being. The budget suggests more funding for First Nations governance and a new way to manage finances. This will help First Nations governments and tribal councils provide important programs and services more effectively. There will also be more options for tax systems, giving Indigenous governments more control over their taxes. Addressing the history of residential schools is another important part of this. The government is dedicated to supporting survivors, their families, and communities. The 2024 budget continues to invest in projects that deal with this difficult time in Canadian history, including remembrance, research, and educational programs for everyone. In summary, Canada's 2024 budget is a strong step toward helping Indigenous peoples grow, gain self-determination, and work towards reconciliation. The government's ongoing investments and teamwork show a real commitment to creating a fair and just future for everyone. The full article is in the description below. I also encourage you to watch the podcast on this topic, as it will provide a more detailed explanation of this budget. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay up to date with timely trends and news. Thanks for watching.